Well, good afternoon. It's 2:15 p.m. on February 6th, 2022. I'm on the eastern end of the Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge in a riparian forest, maybe half a mile north of Lake Wheeler on the Tennessee River. And it's a violent place here. I don't mean today, but here's about I would say, 30-inch or so cherry bark oak that has fallen sometime in the last, I would say, 1 to 3 years. Well, probably no. Let me revise that. There's still last summer's foliage on the top that came crashing down. So this tree came down sometime during the growing season last summer when the leaves were still on the tree. And this oak is literally shattered. And I'm passing around toward what was the trunk. There's a white oak or chinkapin oak in front of me, and I'm walking gingerly because we've got muddy, saturated soil on the ground. And this oak torched off its base, uprooted in place, broke off here, and you can see how violent this uprooting was. The tree was hollow, as many of the trees in this 100-plus-year-old forest are, and crawl across a tree that's between us here. And let me back off a little bit so we can get a better view of this stump that was wrenched apart in this violent windstorm. Going to come around the other side so we can see the trunk from a different angle. And looking here in front of me, there's probably a 28-inch, what looks like a cherry bark oak, and this one that came down was a cherry bark also. And a bit of this top was torn out when this tree came crashing down. Death is a big part of life in the forest, and the ground is literally littered with down woody debris from prior storm events. Here's a shagbark hickory about close to 2 feet in diameter that's leaning about 30 degrees from vertical and resting upon another shagbark hickory there. And you can see that the vertical shagbark hickory is holding up this one that is at 30-degree angle. A great afternoon to be out here in the riparian forest. Temperature 52 degrees. This morning it was 23. This is Steve Jones for Great Blue Heron here in the Wheeler National Wildlife Refuge Riparian Forest.